And perhaps you feel a kind of pleasure as you listen to the sound of my voice. And wonder how you go into trance. And wonder that my voice will go with you as you go about your daily thoughts and dream ideas, remembering an insatiable appetite for ideas, remembering big cats, and remembering visions that grow slender, fish from an idea, and remembering the fine, brilliant, pristine spirit of a child. And now that an easy chair has been restored and recovered, and I know you have determination, as you can now go into a pleasant and comfortable, relaxed state. And you may want to pay attention to the elements in your world, to maintain it well. It is so good to maintain your inner world well and digest slowly, chewing over comfortably brilliant ideas. Oh, this state meant does not have to make sense to you. Just let go and dream a while. Time to close your mouth and feel the inner comfort as you chew on your brilliant ideas, digesting your brilliant ideas. Long enough to dream and keep all your marbles. To dream is, of course, the sorcerer's crown.
Dream is the sorcerer's crown.
That's right. And I tell you a wise story told by a wise storyteller. Long, long ago, in a special place and at a special time, a storyteller sat before his pupil and he told them important stories. It did not matter to him who his listeners were or where they came from. All to him were deep down the same, and all to him were uniquely different. And all came to listen to stories that change your life. He told his stories with many bold gestures and meaningful eye-to-eye looks and far-sighted stares. Always, always the wise storyteller tells of exciting adventures in uncharted territories, places without maps, and places that have many, many signs. Ah, said the storyteller, what you need to do on your adventure is learn to listen to the signs. Learn to see the signs. Learn. You have a choice. And on your hero's journey, feed yourself sparingly so you can exercise your strength and feast with satisfaction on your daily achievements. You will feel fulfillment. Feel filled up with fulfillment, nourished by an inner, deep in your belly and guts, satisfaction. And you will make the changes.
You will make changes.
Now you can take the chance and have an unusual adventure. Digest the signs. You will feel wonderfully expansive, comfortable, new perspective and understanding in your life when you go on, explore new territory, have an adventure, go on, change your hardcore beliefs when they no longer serve you well. And so the storyteller, making grand gestures, speaking vividly, and looking at you wisely, eye to eye, continues. There once was a sorcerer who lived high up on a beautiful, peaceful mountainside, woodlands and flowing streams, saturated in all the colors of nature, filled with the wonderful sounds, birdsong, insects, flowing water, sighing breeze, smells of rich earth and woodland flowers. Our sorcerer in our adventure, when they were very young, had the brightest, brilliant spirit of a child.
Spirit of a child.
Just like the bright Irish child. And our sorcerer, when they were very young, used their spirit wisely, and they felt the greatest pleasure in life. They were energetic, lively and dazzling. They awoke each morning inquisitive to discover everything new about all and everything that they saw or heard, felt, smelt or tasted. They were curious about the tiniest leaf or the smallest pebble. They were happy and playful and bright. Then sadly, other people confused our young sorcerer who had such a bright and brilliant spirit of a child.
Happy and playful, bright and brilliant, spirit of a child.
And many people had told the child sorcerer things about themselves and about their life which were untrue. Some gave the child sorcerer these thoughts and beliefs because they knew no better themselves, and others who saw the child's brilliance told them untruths out of mischief, for whatever horrid reasons known only to themselves. And maybe they didn't even know themselves the reason that they tried to put the child's brilliance out, tried to make the child sorcerer dull in any way they could. And sadly, our young sorcerer succumbed to too many of these influences from these other people, and their life as a brilliant child sorcerer was so interrupted by these untruths that soon the child lost nearly all their power. And the child often blamed themselves, and sometimes blamed others, even strangers passing by on the beautiful mountain became a target of the young sorcerer's blaming. That's so understandable. And sometimes the child sorcerer made their mind be very hard as a way of coping with their loss. And sometimes they dealt with their loss by moving around jerkily, erratically, and the young sorcerer rarely ventured out anymore. The weight of their loss, of their mighty, fine brilliance and brightness, had become increasingly too heavy for them to bear. And if the young sorcerer thought to go out and walk the mountain paths, all they could see in their mind's eye were obstacles and pitfalls. So eventually they rarely went out, and moving became more and more difficult, carrying, as the young sorcerer did, their massive, heavy burden of loss. They stumbled around their house, blaming themselves, blaming others, or making their thoughts hard and heavy. And the young sorcerer fed themselves on rubbish, stored up in their house, and nothing fresh and new and bright came into their life. Our young sorcerer felt they were in a prison which was not originally of their own making. And though they rarely knew the prison was not of their own making, especially when they were blaming themselves, and they never thought to realize that blaming others isn't the way to set one free of a weighty, heavy burden of loss. And then a wise old sorcerer who lived across the deep, lush valley on the mountain opposite had noticed the plight of our young sorcerer. The wise old sorcerer saw that most of the young sorcerer's brightness and brilliance of their spirit had become so weighed down with the heaviness of their burden. Their spirit had almost disappeared. And the wise old sorcerer saw the young sorcerer appeared now to have lost that brightness. And so the wise old sorcerer, because he had avoided the interferences and interruptions of the untruths and mischief of others during his life, had kept and developed his brilliance and brightness and power of his spirit. The wise sorcerer knew to only have beliefs that work for your harmony and brightness of spirit. And so the powerful sorcerer from across the valley focused all the power and brilliance he had on the young sorcerer's difficult situation. And quickly, speedily, was able to discover unusual solutions. The wise sorcerer appeared in all his vividness in the house of our young sorcerer, and using the power and intensity he had, the first thing he did was to, in a heartbeat, make all the food the young sorcerer had been feeding off appear in the room. Of course, in the world of the sorcerer, what appeared as food represented all nourishment of body, mind, and spirit. In a heartbeat, all the useless food appeared, seeming to fill the room of our young sorcerer in that magical way that sorcery has. The wise one asked, "How much pleasure exactly does this rubbish give you?" The young sorcerer replied, "Well, some of it gives me comfort." The wise sorcerer said, "Close your mouth, you stupid idiot, and think before you open it again. This is rubbish. Pillows give comfort. Love gives comfort. Wonderful new ideas give comfort. Rubbish spells rubbish. I repeat twice over now, you stupid idiot." Well, what will you do? Will you look and see the simple truth? This is rubbish, which you used to call comfort. Look and see the truth, and the truth heals. And that's right. The rubbish begins before your very eyes to deteriorate. See how gruesome, and before your very nose rubbish begins to stink. Smell how gruesome. And the wise sorcerer says, "Well, tell me, how much comfort does rubbish give? Think about it." And our sorcerer replied brightly, "None." And in one simple spell, in one heartbeat, the brightness of the spirit returns. The brightness of the spirit of the child returns. And so I will cease talking now, leaving you to wonder on such a story, and to wonder with the beautiful voice, with the song just for you.
One simple heartbeat, brightness of spirit. One simple spell, spirit of a child. Spirit of a child. simple spell. Spirit of a child. Spirit of a child. Spirit of a child. Spirit of a child.